Join Master of Menace Remark Maloney and the OG guy being Dude Aiden Maloney as they explore movies, music, food, and nightlife on The Mark Mo Show. With segments like You Just Made the List, Carpe DM, and The 15, each episode is loaded with shenanigans, tomfoolery, and chaos. We hope you enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to Season 1, Episode 1, the first Mark Mo Show podcast. How's everybody doing? I just want to say that this is pretty special. It's a long time coming. Got a little bit of an opening monologue for you here. I'll throw some truth bombs at you. What up, A? I got something to say. This is Aiden Maloney here. He is my co-host.
Gamers.
He is also host of AK219, Guys Being Dudes, everywhere.
Anywhere you want to find us, we will be there.
That's right. And also has his own personal channel where he does a lot of gaming and things of that nature. Where can people find you there?
Aiden spelled the right way. On YouTube.
That is true.
And you won't find me if you spell it the wrong way, so if you do spell it the right way, that's exactly where you'll find me.
Right. And if you don't, well, you kind of get what you deserve.
Exactly. Which is a potentially lesser YouTube creator. Not to throw anyone under the bus, necessarily. But the thought is there.
We're just saying.
The potential is high.
No doubt about it. But it's exciting. We are, here on YouTube, through RSS feed, all of the different podcast platforms. Pretty exciting stuff from being in our little radio station here locally in our town of Valparaiso, Indiana, which for those of you who aren't very good at geography
per se,
per the Jimmy Kimmel show, that's most of you. But that's okay. I don't judge. I say Valparaiso.
I will.
You will?
I
okay, fair enough.
Will. I'll do that part.
I love that. I love that. So we are in Northwest Indiana, which is basically a suburb of Chicago.
In a way.
In a way. And we get there as much as we can. Or at least we just pretend like we're there. But at any rate, we're here in Northwest Indiana. And we love all of you. And is coast to coast around the world. We used to say it when we were with our little radio station due to streaming and being on TuneIn app and other things, yelling at Alexa, whatever. But now it's really the case. Everybody at every corner can get to us, and that's super exciting.
For sure. If you've got internet, that would help. But if you listen really hard, maybe pick up a seashell. I think some people say you can hear the ocean.
Yeah.
You can, maybe, if you're lucky, hit the Mark Mo Show podcast if you find the right seashell.
I think so. I actually had one of our loyal listeners from the radio station insist that he could pick it up on a paper cup. With the paper cup and the string. Yeah.
The paper cup, that is good technology, by the way.
Seashell, paper, it is really good technology. It's a shame we got away from that.
Exactly. Well, big telephone had to step in and,
of course,
and destroy the paper cup industry. For sure.
That's exactly what happened. So, but anyway, I want to thank Aiden for his guidance and support over the past couple of months. It was a very difficult decision to leave the radio station, but it was time. I won't forget WVLP in Valparaiso, Indiana. They got me the start, right? It was Bill Koch. And he let me flank him on his Under the Radar sports talk show. It was a blast. It was so much fun, and I learned how to do all of this. I also want to thank Greg and Paul, Ken, Larry, John, my dear friend Hannah, frickin' Trueblood,
the homie,
who is our homie for sure. They're all amazing people in the radio and podcasting community, and I appreciate their support, and I've learned so much from them. My radio show After Hours is still on WVLP. So for those of you who used to reach this show that way, you can still reach After Hours the same way. A little bit of a format change. I'm strictly alt-rock and Celtic punk now.
Excellent.
Which tends to be a lot of fun. And we have great music every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right after Casey King's Night Ride, which is John King's daughter. So I was super psyched that, like, we'd been talking about this anyway, even back when I was at the radio station, like making it work so she could have that opportunity on that night.
True.
Now you got 2 bangers in a row.
Righteous. That's what we like to see.
It really is. So that's pretty great. They also stream at WVLP.org in the TuneIn app, because all you beautiful people listening to this, most of you, will probably listen in that way. And then locally, we are also Friday drive time, 4 to 6. So that's pretty great. Listen after hours if you can. The Mark Mo Show podcast will be about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes of chaos and tomfoolery and all those sorts of things. I'm a menace to society, so I'll bring as much of that to the show as I possibly can. And this guy is the guy being the dude. So
allegedly,
allegedly,
it's
fair.
what we've been told.
It's fair. That's what we've been told.
Yeah.
There are no court docs yet.
Exactly.
So
we have not yet dealt with litigation or lawsuits.
Certainly.
But we've got a bright future ahead of us, full of them.
Full of them, I'm sure. I'm quite sure of it. But other than that, it's going to be great. We have awesome segments. Review, preview, the other foods. You just made the list. The 15 Carpe Diem are all going to return. If you used to listen to the show, we're going to bring that back. And then along with a smattering of old segments and maybe a few new ones, we're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it fresh. So hopefully no 2 shows will be exactly alike, but we wanted to at least bring a lot of the segments that you guys love and enjoy over to the podcast. I also want to mention that there'll be new episodes about every week. So we're gonna try to be pretty consistent with that. But in addition to that, there are going to be one-off editions of the Mark Mo Show where I conduct interviews. Now, they may just be 15 or 20 minutes, and maybe we just include them within the body of some of our shows, or we just let them be their own thing. Especially if they're about 30 minutes, maybe we just kind of let them do their own thing, and we call it something a little bit different, kind of like you do with After Dark.
Certainly, yeah.
So we'll figure that part out. But it's going to be really great. We've had a lot of support from the community, and there's a lot of people that are like, "Ooh, we can't wait to be your first interview." So somebody's going to have to be.
Exactly.
Somebody might be disappointed, but you can only do so much. But it's going to be really great. So I look forward to a lot of fun with them on the air, talking a lot of really good stuff. So I can't wait for that. I want to thank the best Chamber of Commerce in all the land, the Valpo Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank the companies that support us along the way. Number 1, AK219, guys being dudes. You know, Christopher Walken, he loves them very much.
What an endorsement.
Christopher Walken loves AK219, and so should you. So we've had that support for sure. Simko Signs, Life Centers of Valparaiso, YMCA of Valparaiso, Currie Motors, Ford of Valpo, Currie Motors Buick GMC, Smoketown Blues Barbecue, Geitonia Greek Grill, and by the way, happy birthday to our guy Eric Sanchez, the Entertainer Magazine. I got to do it because I always did it. I did it on the radio, and I've done it for every. So I should just do it.
Yeah.
Should I do the thing?
I mean, who's gonna stop you?
Well, let me see. Let me look around. No.
Look around the room.
Hey, is there an FCC here?
I don't
think we allowed them in the room, did we?
No.
Nah. Well, let me just go on record. Fuck those guys. Yeah, baby. This is a whole new world for the Mark Mo Show podcast.
See, the hats are on backwards.
They are. It's like a whole new attitude. Absolutely. But at any rate, I'm going to do the thing. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Eric Sanchez. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
You've earned it, my man.
Absolutely. He is our guy. He is our G. You can catch Review Preview because we do this segment, but hey, where did that come from?
Now that's
Where?
a good question.
I wonder.
Yeah. Could it be somewhere for free?
For free? Maybe in the Entertainer magazine?
Perhaps every month?
For free? All over Northwest Indiana?
For free?
For free?
That's nuts.
But it's on, also all of his stuff's on the internet, so that's more than just Northwest Indiana.
Oh, that's true.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere all the time.
Everywhere all the time. Entertainer. My article, review, preview, baby. That's what it's all about. Review, preview, reviewing movies, previewing movies. Do it in an article. I do it for you beautiful people on the podcast every week. So I'm super excited about that. Anyway, there's also quite a few people that have had my back along this journey. Of course, the guy we just mentioned, Eric Sanchez. Mitch LaRock, our guy. Mitch has supported us. We've supported him. It's been great. I've actually started talking to him again, which is great. So who knows what we got going on there.
True.
So that could be something fun. Mark Mondo, Steve Densman, Ryan Bratcher, Ryan Boland, the Ryans as I call them. Kevin Boland, if we can ever find him. I heard there was a
Where's he been?
Stealing things, I guess.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Again, Hannah Trueblood. Old friend Taylor Sawyer. Once again, like Kevin, not sure where she's at, but maybe we'll find her someday again. She's always been a huge supporter. Viva Chris Mines. He's been a radio guy. He's done this Irish show on a Polish station. Go figure. But it was
as the Lord intended.
As the Lord intended, right? That's right. So he had a great show. Brian Donovan, my Irish brother. All my kids. This guy right here, Aiden, Alex, Sarah, Kara. My crews at Fluid Coffee. They're amazing. Valpo B-Dubs, because I do a lot of my work there. So I got shout out to all my Valpo B-Dubs people. The Zombie Club in Crown Point. Melissa is awesome and a really good friend. So shout out to Zombie Club and shout out to Franklin House, which has kind of become my regular spot lately. I appreciate that they're very inexpensive, or I should just say affordable.
Sure.
Which is lovely on a limited budget. And Tuesday Booze Day, all you fine people out there, hit Tuesday Booze Day. Yeah, even you guys in Ukraine, hit it up. Hit it up.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, soon to be, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But those are all great places. There's also another group I'd like to thank. However, I no longer am kind of part of that group. I don't really see them anymore. Maybe mostly my fault. I don't know. I suppose there's a lot of blame to go around when things don't go right. But I'm kind of tired of beating myself up over it. During a super difficult time last year, these guys were amazing, without question. They were my second family. They had my back every step of the way, and I had theirs. I often featured them or their business on my radio shows and in my magazine articles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sad and frustrated and angry about everything that transpired every single day. There isn't a day I'm not feeling a certain way about it. I miss them a lot. Some of my content from my shows and even my articles and things like that was even planned and written at their establishment. It was a place where you could go and you could be creative and just kind of soak up the vibes and just let your imagination run. And it'd be amazing how many times I'd go in there to write an article and bam, it was done. And I was just like, this is just that atmosphere, to kind of, your brain is in that mode, and it just would definitely help out. But losing friends you love sucks, especially when they're still among the living. It blows. I feel like a part of me died about a month ago, but I have to continue on and lean into my content creation and my family and all of my new friendships that I've made recently. But I'll never forget the great times that I had and the support and love that they gave me. After this quick break, we're on to our first segment, a new Carpe Diem.
Hell yeah.
Next. All right, we are back here on the Mark Mo Show podcast. I want to thank all of you for listening in on our inaugural show, Ep 1. Season 1 or Season 1 Ep 1. I did that backwards, but that's okay, I think. Is it not?
I don't see any laws against it.
I don't think there's a law.
No.
I don't know. Maybe the FCC. Aha!
Oh, the FCC.
That's right. That's right.
Wait, do they hold power over us?
Do they hold power over us? No. I don't think they do.
I think you're correct.
I don't think they do.
I think you're right.
Which is a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
So if the occasional curse word maybe slips out, who's to say?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oopsie.
Oops.
Oopsie.
Someone said the bad fuck word.
Made a boo-boo. So sorry. But this is Carpe Diem for you fine folks out there that don't know what Carpe Diem is. That is DMs are sent to us. By the way, there's some stupid fucking show on Roku.
Oh, yeah.
Carpe Diem. Homie, I came first. So, see you in court. Actually, I can't afford an attorney, so whatever. But anyway, we came first, so just give us props. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But Carpe Diem, you guys send us your DMs, and we will read them here on the podcast for you each and every week. And here's the beauty. Before we are on radio, so everything FCC adherent,
True.
we had to sometimes edit some things.
Right.
I don't think we have to do that anymore.
I don't believe so.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is very nice.
That's
no more
pretty
paraphrasing.
No.
Unless it's like really necessary.
Unless it's like we read it and we're like, oh my God, is that Hitler? And then we're like, yeah, no.
That's no bueno.
That's a no-go. No-go for you, buddy. But no, let's, Aiden, if you have yours lined up, let's roll, dude.
I certainly do. I got 4 DMs this week.
Beautiful.
For our, as you mentioned, inaugural episode. Got one here from Bumbo Jones. They ask, would you rather be rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Right. Like under the radar, people don't know who you are. That's a good question. I think it depends, in my opinion, it depends how famous, you know? Because, like, we've been doing content now, online, on air, for several years.
Yeah, almost 8 for me.
Yeah, approaching a decade. So, it's not necessarily that we're striving for fame, per se, doing that. It's more so, you know, a passion that, you know, people latch onto for entertainment value, for a laugh, you know, just something to play in the background. So it goes hand in hand with what we're doing that, you know, if you strike gold, then fame would go along with that.
Sure.
But if we're talking like Justin Bieber famous, hell no. Like paparazzi in your face, stalkers,
yeah,
constant death threats and hatred. I'm like, that is not the fame I would be okay with.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you think about it, like, there's no... Human beings are not built for that much social interaction or attention.
True.
We're just not built with bandwidth like that. So, if that's the type of fame we're talking about, I'd rather be rich and unknown.
I agree with that. Here's the thing, and you had mentioned, like, stalkers before, because if you're rich, very wealthy, all that, that's just something you have to contend with. Paparazzi, people in your face, the media, all that stuff. So from a stalker point of view, I've been stalked twice. So I had a stalker 3 years ago. It was a woman through the radio. And then recently, I think it was end of summer, beginning of fall, I had an older gentleman who was kind of stalking me.
Right.
Who had this idea for a show. And, hey, it's nice that you're interested, whatever. Was not in the cards for this guy. But he was relentless and just got to a point where he starts calling me. He at the bar that I don't go to anymore, he showed up there.
Right.
He was kind of wandering around. It was like
weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
So to think on a localized small town kind of version of that, it was annoying enough.
Sure.
So to be rich and famous and have like people like him always like at you and like having to go file police reports and do all this stuff, like that's insane to me.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I don't think any amount of money is worth, like, what are you going to do? Live behind like big walls and all that kind of stuff? And
that's not healthy either.
No, it's just like, it would be nice to have that money use it how you want to use it, but still be private enough about your situation where you can have nice things, but it's like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be out
You
there.
don't have to be a constant public figure.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
I completely agree.
Yep.
I think there's a difference, too, between, like, Hollywood famous or, like, politician famous
Yeah.
versus, like, YouTuber famous.
Correct.
I think there's a distinct difference there where, you could have a couple million subscribers on YouTube. I wish I did, but, eventually we'll get
Hey, the
there.
couple of millions, hit him up.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks in advance. But, a couple million subscribers on YouTube, first of all, you're going to be financially well off.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, you're famous, I would say, in air quotes, famous enough that maybe not a household name, but as far as, like, internet culture goes, you're known,
Certainly.
But you can still go out and go grocery shopping without
Right.
a dozen paparazzi following you around.
You can walk up and down Small Street, Main Street, and get a sandwich and do a
Right.
little shopping and probably not be bothered very
Yeah,
much.
that's probably the extent that healthy fame could be, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't mind at all,
Correct.
but if we're talking fame as in Hollywood fame, no siree. That's a big no.
Agreed. I agree with that.
I've got a DM here from the Lake Michigan.
Oh, wow.
The actual lake shot me a DM here.
Makes me so wet.
Yeah, about that. The lake itself asks, a genie gives you $200,000, straight up, but then immediately offers you control of karma itself for the low, low price of 180 grand. What do you do?
Oh, I take karma.
So
I
you-
take control of that karma, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there's many of you that do not know the absolute hell I've been through over the past several years, so you won't get to this, but I can use all the good karma I can get, and if it costs a couple bones to do that, let's
Right,
go.
right.
Let's get that moving in the right direction.
That's true. That's true. And the way that Lake Michigan worded this, it makes it seem like control of karma costs you 180 grand.
Right.
But realistically, if you don't consider that $200,000 yours yet, then you could alternatively look at it like, would you rather have 200 grand or have 20 grand plus control of karma?
20 grand plus karma, which
Right.
is exactly what I choose,
Yeah.
because if good karma is rolling my way, then good fortune is going to roll my
Exactly,
way, and
exactly.
everything balances out as things should be.
Right. And if you just take the 200 grand and you live in this dog shit country, one
Right.
medical emergency later, you have zero now.
You have zero.
Because, we don't have things like healthcare around here.
Right.
So I think I would take the 20 grand in karma as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it's more fitting. A Yucky Wilson asked, if you could spend a week as any animal and then come back to your current self without missing any time, would you do it, and with which animal?
I would do it.
I think so too.
I would do it, especially brain-wise, if you understand that you're that animal. So
Sure.
after you're done being that animal, you take that experience
retain
with
the
you. You retain the
experience.
experience. Like if you were to do it and then come back and not have any knowledge of what you just did,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
kind of pointless. I there's like two animals right off the top of my head that I could think of. One would be a shark, for sure. They terrify the hell out of me, but I'm also with the understanding there's really only one other fish that is a threat to them, and so I would just stay away from killer whales.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'd be good. I'd just
That's
be
true.
wandering around.
Just kind of
You know,
wiggling.
I'm not going to sit there and eat people, but I might just scare people for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that might be kind
Be a
of
little,
fun.
we do a little trolling.
A little trolling. The only other thing I could think of would be like a white tiger, because
Oh, yeah.
tigers are awesome. They're probably my favorite animal overall. But white tigers are just freaking beautiful.
True.
So I would do that for
Yeah,
sure.
I
And there's not
agree.
too many predators of a tiger.
That's
to be
true.
completely honest.
That's true. Unless you, stumble upon some poachers in the
Right.
middle of, wherever you are.
Yes.
Which would be unfortunate. Mm-hmm. I'm tempted to go, polar bear, You know,
That's a
they're
good
just
one, too.
huge and ferocious. But then, like, you see pictures of them, and sometimes they're just goofing around and like eating some fish. So you can
Just
be
chilling.
as a polar bear. You can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like the idea of polar bear, or like maybe just like a snake, like a nice medium-sized snake,
Yeah,
and
you
just
could do
kind of wiggle around the ground for a week.
Right.
You know.
It's a warm day, the sun's out, they just literally lay there and chill in the sun.
Exactly. And that's 1 week I don't have to deal with capitalism.
That
Very
is a
true.
fantastic point.
Very true.
And if you're like a rattlesnake, once again, people like come near you, just be like,
Little rattle.
and be like, oh my
Oh,
god,
shit.
and then you can just be like, hey,
Gotcha, bitch.
gotcha.
The final DM I received came from Milkman. The Milkman?
The milkman.
Guess he's getting around town. Would you rather never get paper cuts again or never get stuff stuck in your eye again?
Ooh.
I, as much as like paper cuts and cardboard cuts are fairly inconvenient, I get stuff, hairs, dust, whatever, stuck in my eye so frequently, and it is so irritating. I'm absolutely going with no more stuff in my eye. I just can't do it. I hate it.
From someone with eye issues, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a problem for me. Even when I have like contacts in, then you're just sitting there playing the is it my contact or do I have a hair in my
Sure,
eye game,
yeah.
which is an annoying game because you're sitting there trying to fish a hair out of your eye that's not there.
Right.
Then you just irritate your eye. Now
it's
you
a
got to take your
losing battle.
contacts out. It's a losing
Yeah.
battle. So paper cuts are not fun, but I get them so infrequently. The eye's got to be number one.
I would agree completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was your last one?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to move on to mine. The first one that I have, at Bad Moves Babe 7. Hey guys, love your show. There's this amazing guy who really likes me, and I like him. He said something dumb, so I cast him into the 7th level of hell. Right or wrong move?
That is a question.
That's very interesting.
Bad Moves Babe 7?
Bad Moves Babe 7.
So there were 6 predecessors, if I'm thinking about this right.
There are more Bad Moves Babes,
Yeah.
out there.
Interesting. It's kind of a strange thought.
And it may be a bad move, babe.
It could be. Could very well be.
You know, when there's a guy and you like him and he likes you, and then people are people. You know, we make
The
mistakes.
7th level?
The 7th level.
The 7th level. That's pretty
Seventh level
deep.
of hell. It's amazing, you know. Just somebody says or does something stupid, and you just cast them into the fire so quickly.
Immediate cutoff.
Yeah, that's a bad move, babe.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about that one.
I think it's a wrong move.
How many levels of hell are there? Was it like Dante's Inferno?
Dante's
and there's like,
Inferno.
Is there
It might
11?
be-
Or just 7?
I think it
or
is
8?
7.
7 or 8? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember. But that's pretty deep in hell.
I'm sure I'm going to one of them. So
Oh, maybe you'll see Bad Moves Babe 7 down there.
I'm certain of that. I am certain of that.
But at
for
which
sure.
level?
Yeah, at which level? Bad moves, babe. Wrong move.
Yeah.
Definitely a wrong move. I have at MAGA Marty 1776.
Oh, God.
Yeehaw, boys. We back, and we
Jesus.
taken it back to the 60s. The 1860s.
Of course, of
The
course.
South will rise again.
Jesus Christ.
MAGA Marty? Oh, boy. Okay, there is there is no FCC.
Very true.
I'm trying to... He was nice enough to send us a message, as stupid as it was. I'm just going to say, maybe, just maybe, it's 2025.
That's true.
And we should live in that time.
Ideally. Right.
Ideally,
Yeah.
that time where we're, we're more sophisticated as a culture, as a group of people, more inclusive,
Right. And you'd
more
imagine...
caring.
You'd imagine that human beings with empathy, that would come naturally to them.
You would
to
think
be
so.
Inclusive and, of course, empathetic. But, yeah, this, you called him MAGA Marty 1776, does not seem to have that seemingly human empathy, which is
Lacking.
very, very disturbing. So, Mr. Marty, you will not be receiving a Christmas card from me.
No.
At all.
No. And that may be the last time MAGA Marty is on Carpe Diem. But hey, it's not... I don't make the call. Well, wait.
I think you do, actually. Yeah,
I do make the calls. Yeah, he's done. Anyway, the next one is at Barfly Bart 33.
It's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. 2020 was bad, 2024 was bad, and 2025 has been a shit show out of the gate. Drinking myself into oblivion is my strategy for the year. What do you guys think?
Barfly Bart. I'm guessing that's short for Bartholomew, so...
we can say that.
So Bartholomew, I would just say Uber or Lyft.
Just be careful.
Yeah, I have absolutely no comments on the strategy, but I would just say keep up that great work. Never do anything less than 100%. I'm all in.
I am as well.
Yeah.
I'm all in for that.
We support you, Bartholomew.
And it is a strategy I've been part of so far.
Oh, sure. Okay.
For 2025. It's worked for me. Although, and for folks out there that do enjoy occasional beverage, when you have a tolerance that is as high as mine, it's kind of hard to get to that oblivion part.
Sure. It's like Dr. House with the Vicodin.
It really is. Where you're eating them all the time. And it's to the point where it creates poor cash flow. If I'm there like, hey, I want to drink myself into oblivion, and it's going to take 12 or 15 beers to do so.
We're just going to have to start cashing in on Spiritus or Everclear, maybe.
Right. I think we're looking at straight grain alcohol at this point.
Yeah.
Perhaps a little absinthe. We'll see how it goes. Maybe gasoline. I don't know.
Right.
But we'll figure this out.
The options are on the table.
The options are definitely on the table. Last one. Take a guess, ladies and gentlemen, especially you that have been friends of the show. At Stoner Stanley 420.
Oh, my man.
He says, Hi, Mo-Show, and album.
Album.
Your album.
I guess I'll take it.
I was on the radio station, and I not find you're talking to me.
Oh, no.
Where
Stan?
Where he is Stoner Stanley, ladies and gentlemen. You'll figure this out if you don't know him already. Where can I listen the Mo Show? And did you guys ban Kevum?
Oh, Kevum.
By the way, Kevum is in my trunk.
Oh, well, Stan.
Well,
is he well?
Is he living? Is he breathing?
Yeah, is he well? And it's hard to ban someone when they're stuck in your trunk, so that's something to keep in mind going forward, maybe. But thanks for checking in. You can find us right here.
Absolutely. We love you, Stoner Stanley. Keep the DMs coming.
Exactly.
If you have any DMs out there, hit us up on the socials. You can hit up the Mark Mo Show podcast. We got our own Facebook page. Mark Maloney, I've got mine. Definitely send that friend request. That's perfectly fine.
That's true.
If you're cute, definitely send the friend request.
For sure.
If you're not, definitely send the friend request.
Do it anyway.
I love everybody, so please send it along.
And Stan, if you have any connections to, let's say, lobbyists in the state of Indiana, I would just recommend suggesting forcefully, in a way, maybe the legalization of a certain herb in the state of Indiana, because all the neighboring states get all the lovely tax revenue.
Yes, they
from
do.
selling this green herb, and we get none of it. But people still buy it over state lines, allegedly. I'm not one of them because I can't from my job, but let's just say it does happen. So
it does. It definitely does.
Get down to that Indiana Senate,
I think you need to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You definitely need to do that.
Food for thought, Stan.
Get on that, Stanley.
I wouldn't keep Kevin in your trunk while you go there.
No, it'd be a bad move.
I think abduction is a felony.
Yeah, it kind of brings me back to Dopinder and Deadpool.
Oh, sure.
When he had that guy in his trunk and then he got in the traffic accident.
Yeah,
that'd be a bad move for you, Stoner Stanley.
Yeah.
Do vans have a trunk? I thought he had a van down by the river.
Oh, that's right. So he just has them in the back, the cargo area.
He must.
Well, maybe Kevin's comfortable, or Kevin is comfortable then.
He might be, and maybe that's where all those stolen items from Dick's are at, too.
Oh, yeah. That's a reference to the AK-209 podcast.
It certainly is. So check that podcast out, too, by the way.
For certainly.
We're now on to another segment called The Other Foods. Now, we are foodies. Food is something we will, from time to time, talk about on this podcast.
And occasionally eat.
I'm actually eating a slice of pizza now. From a local gas station here in Valparaiso. And it's not half bad. It's a little cold by now, but that's okay. Sure. We eat cold pizza anyway, right?
That's true.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad for gas station pizza.
I feel like gas station food has really over the last 5 years accelerated.
Has improved.
And has excelled in
I agree.
quality and taste. And it's very surprising and promising.
It is. It is for sure. And as a matter of fact, speaking of gas station food, before we get on to this segment, I was with a bunch of friends, and we took a friend of ours. It was his birthday. Michael, happy birthday. Works at B-Dubs here in Valparaiso, Indiana. And he had his birthday, so the plan was he wanted to go up to the casino. We went to the casino. There were about 8 or 9 of us, however many. And we had a good time. I didn't gamble. I don't mind gambling, but I gamble when I have something to gamble with, if you smell what the rock is cooking. So I just went for a couple beers, have fun time. I can have fun time anywhere. So we had a good time. Anyway, we're on the way home. We closed the bar at the casino, as I do. I close bars. It's what I do. It's kind of my thing. So we're leaving, and all my friend Cody and I could talk about was White Castle. And so I had that on my brain. And kind of when I'm out super late and you get that, you've been out late
that
drinking,
hankering.
and it's like, I'm hangry, why I need food. And it's one of two things, right? It's Taco Bell or it's White Castle, because they're open.
Very true.
So I'm on the highway, I'm heading back, and this truck is in my way. Now, off of I-9480 in here in Northwest Indiana, you have to get off this exit called Exit 15, which takes you into this town that's got the White Castle that's open 24 hours.
Very true.
Truck's in my way, truck's in my way, truck's in my way, bam, we're past the exit. I'm like, now I'm angry. Now I'm really angry at this truck. And I'm like, So there's an exit called Exit 19. That's the next one, and has a Taco Bell. So I'm like, okay, Plan B. We're going to make Plan B work. They have a really good cheap menu anyway, so that's great.
True.
I get there. They just closed.
Oh. At this point...
Gas station.
There it is.
Gas station.
There it is.
And my friend Jess and Cody, they'd been talking about, hey, make me a ham sandwich. So I'm like, I'm getting a ham sandwich. That's what I'm going to do. And it was okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so gas station food.
It is a fantastic Plan C.
Sleeper. Yes. Definitely sleeper.
I have, for the other foods,
Yes.
a real special one here. I found it, I was on this article that was like crazy foods from the 1950s, because, at this point, Hellman's mayonnaise just somehow got a stranglehold on white culture in the 1950s.
That they did.
And there's just so many recipes that include mayonnaise, like really absurd quantities of mayo. And I found one that sounded particularly strange.
Okay.
It is a lobster relish casserole. So I'll read the excerpt from this article here. They say, enough just can't be said about this one. This little gem is a complex but perfect accompaniment to your monthly horror book club meetings. I would argue that point.
Yeah, right.
In parentheses, they say, and we can guarantee the only one who won't relish is the lobster, LOL.
Oh, no.
End quote.
Dad jokes coming at you.
Yeah, exactly. The ingredients: 1 2-pound lobster, 12 shrimp, half of a gallon of mayonnaise, green olives, pimentos, potatoes, lemons, and lettuce.
That's gross. Like all that together.
Half a gallon
Way too much mayo.
of mayonnaise. So what they say is you have to boil the lobster, slice up enough avocados to make a faux rotary phone design on top of the lobster.
Oh, no.
And then you carve the lemons into little baskets to hold things, right? And then decorate them with the pimentos. Then you press the mayonnaised lobster chunks into a Jell-O mold.
Oh.
And top with extra mayonnaise you've tinted green.
No.
To, quote, evoke the many moods of the ocean.
To invoke many...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you make a shrimp merry-go-round on the top to symbolize the happy dance of seafoods. And a lettuce leaf in the middle just because. You arrange the potatoes like little lobster eggs on a bed of seaweed, lettuce, of course, and then the lobster legs, which of course are mayonnaised, around the outside.
Around the outside.
My brain went there as well.
Good.
But yeah, that's our lobster relish casserole.
Oh, my goodness.
Straight
my
out of the
goodness.
50s.
Oh, that's
And
so
that-
out of the
that
50s.
can-
Oh, my God.
Absolutely stay in the 50s. We don't need to bring that back, and I would recommend none of us do. But
Yeah.
just came across that, and it just felt right to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Half a gallon of mayo.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
That's a lot of mayo.
That's too much.
Way too much.
Yeah. So if anyone out there wants to make this or has tried this before, let us know how it was, because we will not be.
Well, yeah, and it's also the fact that you brought up the Jell-O mold.
Right. Why would you have to shape the lobster chunk mayonnaise bits?
I'm not sure.
I mean, just for show. Like, half of what the instructions were just for show.
Yep.
Presentation. So maybe just that? But, like, whatever happened to just having some lobster? Maybe put it on a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean...
And what was with the relish? There wasn't even pickles.
Nope.
How weird.
That's too much mayo.
It's too much mayo, and it's too much to think about.
Yeah.
Usually, you can conceptualize how something will taste by looking at the ingredients, or maybe by having had something similar before. I cannot fathom what that might taste like.
No.
At all. And I'm fine with it being that way. Happier, even.
I am too.
Yeah.
I never want to try that.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's not surstrumming. Stay tuned.
Exactly.
It's not surstrumming, but it's not something I'm lining up for.
No, exactly. I would agree.
Stretch.
No, for sure.
Well, we're about to take a quick break here, but one thing I want to do too, kind of on and off here on the Mark Mo Show podcast, are dad jokes. So my friend Maeve, she works at Fifth Third Bank not sponsored, in Valparaiso, Indiana. She's super awesome and hits me with dad jokes constantly. And so she has inspired me to do a dad joke.
Good.
Each and every episode, which I think we should do. And so, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
Oh, God. I am aware of this one.
Work with me. 10 tickles.
10 tickles.
10 tickles. 10 tickles. That one's for you, Maeve. I think she's on vacation. I hope you're having a fun time. Anyway, yep. We're going to hit up a break, and we're going to be back with our number one all-time segment, You Just Made the List. All right, everybody, we are back. Mark Mo Show podcast. Thank you so much for listening in. We're going to try to be with you every week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to also have an interview kind of version of this as well. So when that comes, we'll let you know. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this has been great so far, Aiden.
Absolutely.
With my son, Aiden Maloney. AK219 is his podcast. Check that out. It's a rip and a roar, or whatever you guys say.
Romp and a rave.
Romp and a rave, rip and a roar,
Rip
whatever.
and a roar.
Rip and a
It's
roar.
a goof and a gaff.
It's a goof and a gaff. It's fun and frolicking.
Frolicking.
I'm just going with alliteration. That's all I had.
A guffaw.
A guffaw.
A hijink.
A hijink.
Yeah.
At least one or two.
We limit it to one. Otherwise, it would just run too long.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. Well, we are now on to You Just Made the List. That's our top 10 list that we will do every week, and it can be on everything and anything. And the only rule is that there are no rules.
That's very true.
There are no rules. There's no judges. There's no FCC.
No FCC. I was just thinking.
I love that, baby. This is
very true.
So we're pioneers. This is a whole new world. Whole new world for the Mark Mo Show. Indeed, you are welcome. So here we go. The first show is going to be our favorite songs of 2024. Now, I told Aiden this off the podcast. We were, setting up and doing all this. I was like, man, I had so much trouble with this.
Tough.
Because it's your favorite song, and how many genres do you have, and subgenres and everything else. So, and the stuff I was listening to 2 years ago, I don't listen to as much. I'm listening to different music now. So, it was a challenge.
Yes, very tough.
So yeah, it's our top 10. We go 10 to 2, and then our big number one reveal. Aiden, I'm gonna let you start out, man.
Okay, that's probably a good thing because I have some honorable mentions.
Oh, wait, rules. Hold up.
Rules? Oh, no,
No,
rules.
no, you're good. No rules.
Very good.
You're fine.
Yeah, honorable mentions that I just had to bring up, even though they unfortunately did not make my top 10. Fuel by Eminem and JID. Dark Matter by Pearl Jam. Useless by Freddie Dredd. Too Sweet by Hozier. Habits by Eminem and White Gold. Sticky by Tyler the Creator, Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne. Lucifer by Eminem and Sly Piper are my honorable mentions.
Very good.
10-2, withholding the big number 1. Number 10 is On the News by Freddie Dredd.
Okay.
Fantastic track. Very good. Number 9 is Like That by Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. Number 8 is TV Off by Kendrick Lamar and Lefty Gunplay. We can see a trend forming.
I'm seeing a trend.
Number 7 is Ada Vista by Childish Gambino. Great track, good album. Number 6 is You Ain't by Freddie Dredd as well. That's just, it was tough because I have like several favorite albums of 2024 and I'm like, that's good, that's good, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see a trend here. Number 5, Heart Part 6 by Kendrick Lamar. Number 4, Ratata by Tyler the Creator. Number 3 is Bad One by Eminem and White Gold. And number 2, Whacked Out Murals by Kendrick Lamar. That's my 10 through 2.
All right. I have one honorable mention. I'm just going to say a lot of songs by Maneskin.
Oh, that's good.
I failed to put them in here. When I looked at my top 10 list, I'm like, oh, it's a pretty good list. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Like, they had like 3 songs I really
Yeah.
liked. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say songs
Right.
by. Yeah, they had a solid 2024 for sure. All right, number 10, A Bar Song by Shabuzi. Number 9, Lunch by Billie Eilish. Number 8, Nowhere to Run by Kings of Leon. Number 7, Starburster by Fontaines DC. Number 6, Lose Control by Teddy Swims. Number 5, Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. She's blowing up.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Number 4, Too Sweet by Hozier.
Good song.
Number 3, Overcompensate by 21
that's a good one,
Pilots.
too.
And I could have put 3 or 4 different songs by them.
That's true.
They also had a good year. And number 2, even though I'm not a country guy, there's a non-country guy on the track, so I felt it was okay. That's I Had Some Help with Post Malone and Morgan Wallen.
That's true.
It's kind of a banger.
I withhold my hatred of country music because I have definitely heard the track before because when you're stuck in cab in a truck, which is my job,
It happens.
with someone that listens to country music,
Yeah.
you're going to hear that
You're gonna
4 or
hear it.
5 times a day.
Sure.
So I've heard it a lot. Post Malone sounds great as always.
Right.
Morgan Wallen, that's certainly a human being.
It's a human.
So
Yep, I get it.
the number
one for you.
The
What do you
number one
got?
reveal.
I wonder if it's the same.
I have a weird feeling. I have a strange feeling. Number 1, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. I mean, you're talking one of the best diss tracks of all time, and it is a fucking bop? Dude.
Bop, 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 bop. Gonna do my stuff. Yeah, they not
it's-
like us.
It's just such a phenomenal track.
It's great.
It's really good.
It's great. It's a great track, and it's a diss track,
True.
So-
it can be both.
It can be both.
He did both.
which is impressive.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. So, yep, I had the same one. Not Like
Number
Us by
1.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Great track. You just say it's just a bop. Like
It is.
It's just, and lyrically, it's just solid. And I mean, just some of his shots in there are impressive.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're in the know, it's impressive.
Yes. It's very good. Lyrically, it's phenomenal.
Oh, I agree. He's had a hell of a year.
Yes.
Yeah, as we always say, feel free to share with us any of your lists as well. We will read them. We will laugh. We'll chuckle, and then we'll throw them in the garbage. But we still appreciate
Exactly.
that you
It's the
sent
thought
it to
that
us.
counts.
If you want us to burn them, we're open to that as well.
We can do everything.
We're
Within
capable.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling faster than light, only on weekends. You know?
True. That's true. You have to know your limitations.
Yeah, physics can't handle us sometimes.
Can't. It can't. But we know.
We know.
We know. Anyway, we're now on to review preview. Now, review preview for once again for all you noobs. Review preview. I review a movie and I preview one coming up or one that's just been released. And so I saw this movie. It got a lot of talk, had a tremendous cast, and I was curious because we here at the Mark Mo Show podcast, we are fans of horror. Not horrors, horror.
Right.
That's a tough word.
Horror.
It's a tough word. Because one little slip in phonetics, and
right.
Now you're talking about different movies.
Right. And us Midwesterners have such a way of talking that, like, somewhat, not all words, but some words just get shortened for, the sake of being concise.
We'll lose a consonant or a vowel.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah.
And, like, horror, if you really emphasize the second R sound, horror, it doesn't really flow, you know?
We like horror movies.
Horror games. Horror movies.
Horror. We don't really...
Horror movies.
Yeah, horror movies.
Yeah, you say it fast enough, it's like, wait a minute.
What kind of movies are we talking about?
Brother,
Hold
you
up.
good?
Hold up. So Nosferatu is a movie that I reviewed for the magazine, and I gotta say, I'm a fan. So
Fairly bueno.
very good. The modern Gothic classic, directed by Robert Eggers, stars Bill Skarsgård, who's amazing, absolutely amazing. Lily Rose Depp, the daughter of Johnny Depp, she's phenomenal. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nicholas Hoult, Emma Corrin, Willem Dafoe. I mean, just a top-notch cast. It takes place in an eerie landscape in 1838 in Weisborg, a tale of love, despair, supernatural horror. Ellen, a young woman haunted by the dreams of death and desolation. She prays for companionship only to attract the sinister attention of Count Orlok, a.k.a. Nosferatu, an ancient vampire. Her husband, Thomas Hutter, is an ambitious estate agent. He embarks on a precarious journey to sell the decrepit Schloss Grundelwald to the enigmatic Count, unaware of the dark pact binding them. As Thomas ventures into the Carpathian Mountains. Yeah, if you're ever in the Carpathian Mountains, do yourself a favor, turn around and get the hell out.
Just leave the Carpathian Mountains.
Just leave the Carpathian Mountains. It's the best thing you can do.
Good for your health.
He encounters the local Romani who warn him of the malevolent vampire. Their fears manifest when he witnesses a desecrated corpse that awakens in an agony and omen of the horrors to come. Orlok's presence is palpable. His thirst is insatiable. Good words. You can use them if you want.
Big vocab.
Big vocab. That's right. What up? When he drinks from Thomas, you know what? He's a vampire.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain it anymore. The veil between life and death begins to unravel, plunging Weisborg into nightmare. Back in town, Ellen's health is deteriorating. She suffers from sleepwalking, violent seizures, revealing the grip of Orlok on her soul. As the town is ravaged by a mysterious plague, her pleas for help lead her to Dr. Wilhelm Sievers, who's played by Willem Dafoe, and the reclusive scientist Albine Eberhard von Franz. I'm sorry, that is played by Willem Dafoe, who understands the dark force of play. Together, they uncover a horrific truth. Orlok is the Nosferatu, an embodiment of death and decay. As the clock ticks down, Thomas races back to sacrifice. She lures Orlok to her chamber, allowing him to drink her blood, which ultimately leads to his demise at dawn. Because, vampires in the sun?
Yeah.
Not good.
No bueno.
No bueno. Yet the price of love is steep. Ellen succumbs to the darkness, leaving Thomas to grapple with the loss and haunting shadows of desire. The film is an art piece and a love letter to the original silent film that came before. I give Nosferatu 4 out of 5 stars.
Very good.
Very, very good. Cinematography is unbelievable. Just a lot of different visuals that are very washed out color, almost black and white at times. Very dark. You don't really see Nosferatu the first couple of times because he's buried in the shadows in just certain, like this fireplace. So you kind of see his silhouette a little bit. So you're not really like aware of how hideous this thing is until a little bit into the movie. And especially that last scene, which is unbelievable. I really enjoyed it. Not your average horror movie. If you're into jump scares, if you're into gore, if you're into all that, you're going to be kind of disappointed. If you're into film noir, if you're into like all that old-fashioned stuff, this is it.
Cinema.
It is cinema, absolutely, 100%. So good. So I do definitely recommend that. And then there is a newer movie out for you fine folks, and that one is called The Damned. Now, The Damned is interesting because it is also really what I consider more of almost like an indie film. The way it's made, I would guarantee it's a low budget, and it takes place during the 19th century at a winter fishing outpost inherited from her late husband. It's kind of like, basically, it's an Irish film, and Irish actors and the whole thing, and it's very Viking-like. But the Vikings and the Irish, it's a thing,
Right.
so like it makes sense why all this came together and how it did. But yeah, so it's kind of the same deal almost as Nosferatu in a way, because without getting into a lot of details, it kind of takes place in this fishing village. It's winter. They're stuck there. There's like 12 of them. One woman who's kind of, well, actually there's two. And they're kind of like running and helping things behind the scenes while these guys are trying to fish in the wintertime, not having much luck. So the
Right.
food is very scarce. And there is this ship in the distance, and there's these big rocks. And so it's caught up on the rocks. And this thing starts to sink. And they're like, hey, should we get out there and help these guys? And it's kind of like they made the difficult decision. No, because then what happens if we lose
Right.
half of us? Then
Right.
it's like, then we're all doomed. So they make that decision, but it ends up haunting them. And
Curious.
yes, so very good. Once again, very haunting, scary, but not in a traditional way.
Right.
Just kind of in the things you feel and the things you don't see, but the things you know are coming.
Right.
So it's very, very good that way. So yeah, so that's The Damned. Check it out. As I said, it's kind of this indie Irish film, but it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Righteous.
Yeah,
That's
so
fantastic.
it's more of a preview because I was
Review,
going to review
review.
it, and then the one day
You just saw it.
where I was going to see my friend Sully, and I was kind of like, well, I'm here. I was like, I have to see it anyway. So
you get a review for the price of a review preview.
Exactly. Yeah. So
You're welcome.
You're welcome for that. And then I suppose it's worth mentioning we just lost a director. We lost a G.
The homie.
David Lynch. Fantastic. So some of the films well, first off, let's be honest, Twin Peaks. That was his thing, and it was didn't last long. I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons. I think maybe it was 2 seasons, but it was such a cult classic.
Yeah.
It was such a hit, and I felt like it gained popularity much further later on.
Right.
But I mean, it's just it's artwork. It's amazing. But he also directed The Elephant Man, which is an award-winning film. Dune, the original Dune from 1984, like the good Dune.
Right.
He directed that. Blue Velvet. Do yourself a favor and watch Blue Velvet. What a fantastic film. Isabella Rossellini's fantastic. He did an amazing job with that. Wild at Heart, great movie, 1990. He did a movie called Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Wasn't as much of a fan with that, but he was just kind of trying to further the story along on the big screen, and it didn't work out all that great. Lost Highway, The Straight Story, Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive is a very good movie as well. Yeah, I mean, he'll be missed. He was definitely a legend
Yeah, absolutely.
in the community for sure. But that's it for all of the good review, preview, and movie talk on this edition of the Mark Moe Show podcast. And I believe we have something before our next break. It's something that we incorporated, I think we started doing last year, as a segment called While You Were Sleeping. Now, Aiden pretty much stays within pop culture, so it can be music, it could be a TV show, it could be a movie, it could be gaming. We do some gaming talk on here as well. And so they're kind of maybe more retro things that maybe you missed, maybe something more recent that you missed. But that's what his job's to do, is to find those
True.
things and be like, hey, you, wake up. You missed this. And that's what Aiden's about to do.
Exactly.
What did we miss while we were sleeping?
While you were sleeping, a little indie horror game that I did in fact play on my YouTube channel, but this is unrelated. This is the fact that you all were sleeping on it.
We did.
I think it's like $5, so it's an inexpensive game. But It is called Night Drive.
Okay.
Night Drive.
Not to be confused with the WVLP show, Night Ride.
Yes, exactly. Very similar sounding.
Indeed.
Quite
Once
different.
again, we're from the Midwest. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, exactly. We say things kind of fast sometimes.
We talk fast and we miss a few letters.
Whoops.
Oops.
Anywho, Night Drive, a captivating driving simulator. Driving simulator is kind of not all that it is, but that's how they start off the article. That challenges you to navigate a seemingly endless night in search of anomalies to break a mysterious loop.
Oh.
So it's an anomaly finding game where you have to drive through this loop. It's a game based in Thailand. I believe the creator is Thai,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. Night Drive, you find yourself behind the wheel on a deserted highway. Deserted in air quotes.
Gotcha.
That's where they get you. Under a blanket of stars, the road ahead is long and winding, with only the faint glow of your headlights illuminating the path. The goal is simple yet profound. Drive through the night until the sun rises, thereby breaking the loop and escaping the eternal darkness. So, you're behind the wheel. Crazy shit starts happening around you, right? People try driving you off the road, see how it's not deserted. There could be people haunting you in your car trying to kill you. There's this one, not to spoil any of the crazy jump scares, but there was this one where you're driving along and everything seems fine. Like at the end of the road, you have two paths. If you notice something went awry, you have to go left towards the zebra shrine, which is this little shrine that you drive past to cleanse the anomaly from that run.
Okay.
If you didn't notice anything go awry, you go right because that road was correct, how it should have been. And you're driving along and you pass all these little huts and billboards and you're driving through the mountains and everything. And there's a woman in the hut. Just a woman in this big white robe, and as you're driving past, she looks at you and disappears. And it's oh, well, that's fucking creepy. And you're driving along, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll drive past this zebra shrine. And you don't notice until it's too late, but she's in your rearview mirror.
Oh, no.
In the back seat of your car.
Oh, no.
And once you notice and you look up at the rearview mirror, she starts peeking her head up towards the driver's seat.
Nope.
And it just stares you down as you're driving. And if you drive off the road, because you're in the mountains, you drive off the road, you die. And the run ends. So you're being panicked, trying not to die, while she's eyeballing you down. And then she fully climbs up into the driver's seat and blocks your view. It's terrifying.
That sounds terrifying. I would open the door and fall out.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah, I would almost do that on purpose just to escape.
Mm-hmm. I'd be okay, scrapes, couple broken bones, I'll take the risk.
Yeah, worth it. But Night Drive, highly recommend it. Of course not sponsored. This just happened while you were all sleeping. But yeah, an amazing game that doesn't cost more than a couple bucks, and
that's right.
You get some good scares out of it. So
that's awesome.
Would highly recommend.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, I love that segment. We're going to bring it back to you. And thank you for that, Aiden. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're on to our last segment, the 15. All right, we are back. We are in the home stretch of the first episode. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We are having a great time here, and that's the whole idea. We're just here to have fun, and hopefully you guys will laugh and chuckle and chuckle.
A guffaw.
A guffaw, perhaps.
You're allowed one.
You're allowed one guffaw a day, at least.
Exactly. In this economy, we have to ration.
That's important.
But you may have a guffaw.
You may have a guffaw, but your health plan will not cover that.
Exactly.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to the 15. And once again, it is similar to our top 10 list, but different. So what we do is we do research, Reddit, Google, whatever, and we come up with various lists, top 15 lists, and it could be anything statistical, anything. And the whole idea is we try to stump each other. You get 3 strikes, just like in baseball, and you try to name as many as you can. So we challenge each other each week to do this. So, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Absolutely.
And I'll let you wrap things up.
Certainly.
So, here is my 15. This is you. Now, mind you, I'm even going to give you a little hint here because it could be tough otherwise.
Okay.
Is that it has to do with cities, but it doesn't mean they're major or all big cities. So just keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
Not that they're random. They're all pretty well known, just not all major cities.
Right.
So, anyway, my 15. U.S. cities people are flocking to, according to a study last year by Yahoo Finance.
Oh, wow.
I was going to do the other way, cities people are leaving, but I'm like, where people are leaving, where are they going?
Right.
I found that very interesting. So, so what do you think? Where are people going?
Oh, that is a great question. Where are people going? Well, I know there's a lot of population influx into Texas.
Uh-huh.
So I'm tempted to go with some cities in there. The unfortunate part is I only know a handful of Texas cities.
Okay.
And most of them are the major ones. So I'll just, with the 3 strikes in mind and hopefully not getting one off jump, I'm going to say Houston.
Houston is number 2.
Ooh.
Houston, number 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Feel free to play along at home, folks. You'll just
No
have
doubt.
to, keep track of your own strikes. So Houston's number 2. That's good. Let's see. Do I dare? Do I go with Austin, Texas?
You could.
I think I'll try and lock it in.
Austin, Texas is number 9.
Ooh, okay. Okay,
2
2
for
and
2.
9. 2
Yep.
and 9. That's good. Where else would they be going? I know people aren't necessarily flocking to Chicago, which is unfortunate. It's really their loss. The question is, are people going towards LA? No. Well, maybe actually. This is the tough part about the 15.
This is the tough part.
Unintentionally trip yourself up. I'm actually going to stay in Texas.
Okay.
Hopefully not going to the well one too many times. I will say Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas, number 1.
Ooh, that's good.
Number 1.
Good. That's a good feeling. We got 1, 2, and 9 locked down.
Yes, you do.
Question is, do I also include San Antonio?
You could.
I think I will. San Antonio, Texas.
Number 5.
I found the cheat code. It's all Texas.
Oil jobs and no taxes.
I know, right? Well, that's pretty good. We got those 4 locked down. No strikes just yet. But that's kind of all major cities. Where would people be going for minor cities? Could be somewhere like Indianapolis. I know Indianapolis is growing at a fairly consistent rate. Let's try. Let's say Indianapolis, Indiana.
That is your first strike.
Oh, strike numero uno.
To be fair, they were in the top 20, but not the top 15.
See, I
You were in the ballpark.
I had a feeling.
You were in the ballpark.
Unfortunate. It's good knowing they were in the top 20, though. I wasn't that far off. Oh, boy. First strike, where else would people be going is the question. People be going somewhere like San Diego, maybe? Gotta be somewhere in California. Or maybe people are going to like the Midwest more, perhaps? If Indianapolis is in the top 20, could be maybe somewhere like Nashville. Let's try Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee is not correct.
Oh.
All right.
Strike numero dos. We're on the hot seat now.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I would go back to Texas, but I've run out of cities that immediately come to mind.
There's another state without tax.
There is another. Oh, Washington? Maybe.
Well, Washington is one. I'm thinking of something warmer.
Oh, maybe a little Florida action.
Could be.
Miami's expensive. but would they be on the list? Could be Naples or Fort Myers, maybe. Orlando. Orlando's expensive too, though. Interesting. Interesting. Let's try Miami. Miami, Florida. Did I choose the one city that's not on there?
Yeah.
Of course I did.
No, Miami. That is the third strike.
Damn.
You ended up with 4 out of the 15.
Shucks.
Number 15, Orlando.
Of course.
Number 14, Daytona Beach.
Oh,
Number
I always forget they're there.
13, Atlanta.
That makes sense.
Number 12, Phoenix.
Oh, I always forget they're a thing.
Number 11, Sarasota.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Number 10, Fort Worth, Texas.
Probably should have thought of that.
Number 8, Lakeland, Florida.
Wouldn't have thought of that at all.
Number 7, Jacksonville, Florida.
That one I should have had. That's silly of me. Very silly.
Number 6, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Should have thought of that one too.
Number 4, Tampa, Florida.
Tampa.
And then number
Silly.
3, Irving, Texas.
Irving. I would not have thought of
That's
Irving.
where the Cowboys play.
Bastards.
I know. So
Come
there you
and
go. You got 4.
4. Man. After I got off to such a hot start, too.
Like I said, it was a tough one, but there
Yeah.
were a few other bigger cities in there. I was thinking about 6 for you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Ah, shucks. Well, maybe if I started somewhere else in Florida, I could have.
I think you would. I think you would have pulled it out.
Yeah. Damn. That's unfortunate. I'm glad I didn't go SeaTac area.
Oh gosh,
That would have been an L.
That would have been an L for
Yeah.
sure.
I've got a 15 for you as well.
All right,
And the lovely listeners, of course.
let's do it.
15. We've done one similar to this, but we have not done this one specifically. Top 15 best-selling car brands globally.
Oh, okay.
So, globally, best-selling car brands, not car-specific model, but the brand
The
itself.
brand itself, yeah.
And this is current as of 2022/23.
Okay.
So things have moved up and down, but I think the list is still fairly accurate as of 2024-25 that we are in now.
Okay.
And I kind of had to source this from 2 different articles.
Okay.
Because they had one that was like, oh, best-selling cars of 2024, but it's one of those things where it shows you the top 3, and then the other one is like, subscribe to see the full list. And it's like, well, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
So I got a 2022 list and a 2023 list, and I merged them.
That's fine.
So, top 15 best-selling car brands. You get 3 strikes, and so do the lovely listeners. What are we thinking?
Okay. Well, let's just go right for the big dog. Let's say Ford.
Ford, number 5.
Number 5. Number 5 at the Ford. It's gotta be number 1, Toyota.
Toyota, number 1. Absolutely.
Gotta be. How about Honda?
Honda's number 3.
Okay.
People love Japanese cars.
They do.
I cannot blame them.
How about Hyundai?
Hyundai, number 4. The
See?
big number 4.
4 out of the top 5, right off jump. I love that. Okay. Let's... Now things get a little challenging. A little bit.
A little bit.
Let's say Chevy.
Chevy, as part of GM, number 7.
Okay.
Yes, that's Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac.
Got it. So GM is that. Okay.
Yep. Doing pretty good so far. 0 strikes.
Pretty good so far.
0.
How about Subaru?
Subaru, let's have a look-see. Subaru not on my list.
I disagree. Those Outbacks are everywhere. You turn a corner, there's an Outback.
That's true.
Turn another corner,
That's
there's
true.
one. Oh, look, there's 2. Wait, they're the same. Are they the same car or not? I
Right.
don't know.
They're everywhere. If they have made the top 15 as of 2025, I wouldn't doubt it necessarily, but like I said, my data is 2 years old, unfortunately. So I'm sorry.
Damn it.
You could be correct. I'm sorry.
I'll take the L. That's fine. No problem.
Strike numero uno.
Okay. Let's no Subaru, but other popular cars globally.
Yes.
Globally. How about BMW?
BMW number 13.
Okay. Good.
On the list indeed.
Let's stay in Europe. How about Mercedes?
Mercedes-Benz number 10.
All right, I like it.
That German build.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Okay, I won't do that again.
Little
Stick to
LL
Happy
Cool J,
Birthday. Yeah. I'll stick to Happy Birthday, Christopher Walken. I know where my strengths lie. I love cars. They're really great. They get you places.
Fantastic insight.
Yeah. Thank you, Christopher Walken. Shite.
There are several on here I know you can get.
Sure, I'm sure of it.
I will say there are a couple that are really deep cuts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about, I'll go with the deep cut. I'll throw this out there. How about Daihatsu?
Daihatsu? No. Unfortunately. It's a fantastic deep cut, though.
Yeah.
I like where your brain's
All
at.
right. Okay. Should have known this one. How about a Kia?
Kia number 8.
Because you can do anything
in a red Kia
in
Spectra.
a red Kia Spectra.
Yeah.
God,
Not
what
sponsored.
a car. What a car. Not sponsored. Should be. PBR and red Kia Spectra.
Yeah, exactly.
They should give me one of each. Many of each.
Why not?
Why not? Okay, so we got the Kia.
Yeah, I'll take a 12-pack of red Kia Spectras.
Please.
Where are you going to put those all?
You know where. It's Kid Show. No, it's not.
What are you going to do with a tree that big, Griswold? Bend over and I'll show you.
Hey.
It's some nerve talking to me like that. I wasn't talking to you.
Love it. Okay, shit.
Still one strike. We're still not on the hot
We're in the
seat.
game. We're in the
Yes.
game. That's good.
Lockdown Kia.
Lockdown Kia. That was important. I would have to shoot. I feel like I should know this. Hi. God, that's not right. Let's...
A lot of cogs in that brain turning.
I know. Some of these are luxury brands, and I know that's just... I'll throw Tesla out there.
Tesla, 14.
Okay.
They have gone up since then, but yeah, 14 at this time.
Okay.
Very good.
I didn't want to say it, but
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing really good.
I'm sure this isn't on it, but I'm failing. My brain is failing me right now. Is Chrysler part of GM?
They are not.
Chrysler.
Chrysler is part of Stellantis, Chrysler, Fiat, and Peugeot. I've never understood how to... Peugeot. Number 11.
All right.
Very true. Very good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
You are now missing 5. Only
Damn.
5.
Damn. Okay. Oof.
With only one strike.
That's right. This is where it gets tough.
Yeah, this is where it gets tough.
I'm going to say Porsche, and I know that's probably not on there.
It's not on here. That's strike dose.
God darn it.
I think 2 of these remaining 5, you would be remiss if you missed. There's 3 on here that are kind of tough.
They're tough?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
On the hot seat.
It is very hot. It is very hot. Dodge is GM, right?
Dodge is not GM.
Okay, Dodge.
That's strike number 3. Oh, man. I believe Dodge is part of Mopar.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they did not make the list. Or they got out of that. I don't know. Car companies are weird.
I'm so sad.
Hey, 10 out of the 15.
I'll take the 10.
Is
I'll
solid.
take the 10. The 10 was good.
Good performance. Number 15 is a Chinese car company named Geely.
Geely.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those.
No, me neither. I don't even think we could buy them. Number 12, at this time, I think they're not currently, but at the time, Suzuki, number 12.
Okay.
Number 9, BYD, another Chinese car company. Number 6, the Nissan Renault Group.
Nissan.
God.
God.
Nissan's pretty big. Number 2, globally, Volkswagen. Das Auto.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry.
10 out of the 15 is a very good performance.
It is a good performance.
That is well done.
It is a good performance. I'm very pleased. And pleased as punch, as they say. Yeah, so hey, first episode.
Yeah, feels good to be back.
First episode. It is definitely good to be back. And once again, thanks to Aiden, man. I couldn't do it without you. And I want to thank all our great supporters, from businesses to people to whatever, just everybody that has our back on this thing. We definitely appreciate it. And we're going to have new content once again about every week. And that includes the interviews that I was talking about, too, with some interesting people and business owners and all that within the region, which is Northwest Indiana. Chicago and beyond. So anything you want to shout at before we're out of here?
Definitely. If any lovely listener out there is interested, you can check out AK219 on podcast apps and YouTube. My own personal channel, Aiden Spelled the Right Way, on YouTube as well. Would be very cool if you did so. And of course, links in description. All the good info is in the description.
Awesome.
Thank you all for listening, of course.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you next week on Season 1, Episode 2 of The Mark Mo Show.